I guess today's discussing about airlines reservation systems using Java's. So creating airlines reservation systems, we are creating the four classes on these conditions. First, we are creating the flight.javas. So we are creating the four data types: flight numbers, destinations, total seats, and book seats. So, using these data types, creating these names and also objects for these conditions and returning these data types and using the if conditions in case using if conditions on the book seats objects in case the book seats is less than two total seats, the book seats was increased and returns true, otherwise returns false. And we are discussing about passengers.java's class. In this method we are using two classes, two data types. One is names, another one is passports numbers. So in this method is similar to the previous method, also using these conditions and also objects for that conditions, and storing these ways. And finally we are creating the two strings object and stores passengers names as these conditions and passports numbers as these conditions. And we are discussing about third class reservations.javas. In this method, we are using flight and passengers and also assume at small flights and passengers and also creating the objects for us. In these methods, we are also storing objects for these data types and is similar to the previous method and also says this is the final programs for these airlines reservation systems. In these programs, in the three classes also executed under these conditions, and finally we are get the outputs. So we are discussing this method. Import javas.ut array list and scanners. Um, yes, assumes the flight as flights and reservation as reservations, and also creating the objects and also adding the state flights details and also print as flights. And in these methods, the flights numbers details also equal to them. These conditions using if statements and returning the files details. In these conditions, we also using the if conditions in case the flight is not equal to null and the flight is not booked. It stores print in reservations made for passengers numbers and then else prints flights not found or overall available seats. The final is we are storing supports storing reservations and using public static void main conditions. This is the basics for Java's and adding the details for the defaults, the flights numbers and destinations points, New York and Los Angeles, and using while conditions print these all spacing conditions. These while condition is used, it was continuously asked for users to source. We are using while conditions using switch cases for you asked for users details on these conditions. These three classes also executes on these conditions and finally uh, running these programs. So check these programs. So we are using asking four types of questions. One views flights. So first we are check the flights. Shows the files availability, files numbers, destinations, and available seats. So we are makes reservations. So we are using the second numbers. Enter the passenger name. So we are putting my names. Okay. Passport number. Enter the flight number. So I want to book my tickets on flight number AB123. So put my number on this container. So reservation made for Aravindan successfully. So view the reservations on this condition. So check if the reservation was done or not. So we are choosing three to check the condition. Yes, the reservations were done on the Aravindan. Passengers names Aravindan, report name, passengers numbers, and on the reservation successfully is on New York flight. So finally exits on the conditions. Program was successfully configured. So using these conditions, view the files details. So that's all about.